Hey guys, DC Network here, coming at you with another video. Recently, Warner Bros. Discovery put out a press release on their site announcing what's coming to Cartoon Network this fall, and if I'm being honest, there's not all that much coming. It's a bit disappointing to say the least. So first and foremost, they start out with announcing that We Baby Bears, Batwheels, and Teen Titans Go are all getting new episodes along with Bugs Bunny Builders, which is not the most surprising thing in the world, right? Those shows are rather popular at the moment in time, and they announced one new series coming to Cartoon Network, which is the point of this video. They announced that the heroic quest of the valiant Prince Ivandoe will be premiering on Cartoon Network on November 11th at 9 a.m. And they give a little synopsis for the series as a whole. The series tells the tale of Prince Ivandoe, a self-assured, delusional young buck, joined by his dedicated and clever squire Bert on a magical and hilarious hero's quest through kingdoms filled with swashbuckling royal rivalries and magical fairy tale creatures. And if you guys recall, the Valiant Prince Ivandoe is being produced by Hanna-Barbera Studios Europe, the same studios that produced The Amazing World of Gumball and Elliot from Earth. And this is a series that has been coming for a long time to Cartoon Network here stateside. I want to say, and don't quote me on this, but I recall talking about this series in my upfront video for 2018 and 2019, so needless to say, it's been coming for quite some time, so it's good to see that it's finally going to be premiering on the channel. I haven't really heard much of the series other than, what I just read to you guys, so we'll have to wait and see on how it is from a content perspective. But I always enjoyed The Amazing World of Gumball. I thought that Elliot from Earth was great for the little, that we got of it. That cliffhanger, unfortunately, is never going to be solved, it seems like. But as for the heroic quest of the Valiant Prince Ivandoe, I'm curious to see what it brings. I'll probably check out the first couple of episodes to see if it's something that I'd want to watch. But other than that, like I said, it's premiering on November 11th at 9 a.m., which is actually a Saturday. So it's kind of neat to see that Cartoon Network's trying to do this Saturday morning cartoon thing again, because that was a thing back, I think, of the 70s and 80s that was really big, and in the 60s, and even back in the mid-2000s and early 2010s. I remember Cartoon Network used to have their DC Nation on Saturday mornings. At one point, they were airing Ben 10 Omniverse on Saturday morning. I remember Star Wars The Clone Wars. Originally, it was on the Friday night action block, but then it moved to Saturday morning. So it's kind of cool to see that Cartoon Network is once again trying to kickstart a Saturday morning cartoon block airing new episodes. Unfortunately, there's not really that many shows to air new episodes during this block. But the bigger thing coming out of this press release that I wanted to talk about with you guys is there's only one new series mentioned here, right? There's only the heroic quest of the Valiant Prince Ivandoe. The big elephant in the room, in my opinion, is there's no mention of Total Drama Island, the 2023 revival series, which is just rather curious to me. I recently discussed on this channel how I was predicting this series would come out sometime initially this summer, but since we're, towards the tail end of the summer at this point, I was saying it's going to come between September, October, maybe November. But now we don't have any mention of this, so it means one of two things. Number one, it's just not coming this year, which would be rather strange to me because it's premiered in Italy, it's premiering in South America. Why wouldn't it come here to the US stateside? Why wouldn't it premiere on Cartoon Network here if it's premiering in other countries? What I think is the more likely scenario here, and I touched on this in my last video discussing Total Drama Island, is I think the series has been moved to Adult Swim. I think this is another indication that that's most likely the case because it's supposed to come this year. We know it's ready. It's premiering in other countries, so you would imagine that it'd be on this press release. It'd be on this press release saying it's coming this fall to Cartoon Network, but since there's no mention of it, I'd have to imagine it's coming to Adult Swim, which I don't have. It's so weird because I'm torn on this situation. I don't have the biggest problem with this series being moved to Adult Swim because it will get more freedom that way, and we've seen, throughout the past year or past 6 months or so, I should say, that the priority is really shifting at Warner Bros. Discovery towards adult animation, and all of these series are moving to Adult Swim, which is one thing. They're making content that is going to be targeted towards me, which is a good thing. Like, we had Unicron Warriors Eternal, which is a great series. I'm absolutely loving my Adventures with Superman so far, and then Total Drama Island will also most likely be coming to Adult Swim, so that's a nice lineup there. But at the same time, it's like, dang, they're really not doing anything for Cartoon Network, and it's a bit disappointing to see because I feel like, look, Cartoon Network isn't exactly being targeted towards me. It's being targeted towards a much younger demographic, which is perfectly fine, but at the same time, I kind of feel bad for today's kids because they don't really have much to watch. The only active shows on Cartoon Network right now are Teen Titans Go and We Baby Bears, and Craig of the Creek. Sorry, those are the only 3 Cartoon Network originals that are currently airing new episodes. The Amazing World of Gumball, yeah, it's on the channel all the time, but it's not airing new episodes. So it's like kids animation is just really not in a great spot right now, and maybe we'll discuss this further in a future video. But based on this press release, the future's not looking too hot for Cartoon Network, because there's really not much coming, and this is just goes to prove that. I mean, hey, at least we're getting one new series this year though on Cartoon Network, because I believe, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, I believe this is the first new series to premiere on the channel this year, all the way at the end of the year on November 11th. Do you guys remember the days when we used to have 2 or 3 brand new series premiere on the channel in a given year, maybe even more than that at certain points in time? And now here we are, lucky to even see one new show premiere on the channel. I believe at the beginning of this year, I said in my upfront video for 2023, what's coming to Cartoon Network, I believe I said we're lucky to see 2 or 3 shows premiere on the channel, and last year we only got 1, and looks like we're in the same situation again, only getting 1 new series in an entire year. Not great, Cartoon Network. Anyways, let me know in the comment section below what you guys think about all this. What do you guys think about this whole situation? Are you excited to see the heroic quest of the valiant Prince Ivandoe finally coming to Cartoon Network? Do you think Adult Swim is going to be the home to Total Drama Island? And what do you think about the lack of new series premiering on the channel? If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to see more content like this from DC Network. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.